I think I think the one thing that I could sum up the experience of my life would be a waterfall.
You look at your friends around you and you just have a sort of feeling that you're different. Which, when you're young, is scary, but when you look back, it was sort of nice being different.
Gender is such a changing thing. It's so fluid. People are always discovering new things or new ways to define themselves.
So I put on the clothes because they make me feel like I'm borrowing my sister's strength and my mother's strength and the strength of all the strong-willed women in my life.
It was overwhelming to think that I'm a normal human being and I'm not showing who I actually am. It got to a stage where I used to feel self-harming was the answer, and the self-harming got worse when I started my transformation because I was still scared. And
I don't know if anyone here in this room has done it. Yeah, see,
That was 2 weeks ago.
see, I think it's because, like, I don't know why, but you know, I think it's because obviously like the stress and the whole, you know, coming out situation.
It's like, I guess it's just a coping mechanism, really. Just a way to. When you do it, I suppose. Well, for me, it's kind of just relief. I guess it's just in the time, like it's kind of weird because everything's like just blurry and it's just you and the razor or whatever you use, I guess, and it's just. And then after you do it, you kind of, you do
feel like
guilty
you feel a bit shit because you like, oh shit, I've got this cut on the arm. Like,
Yeah.
no, like,
You get judged for it, and then you get called
crazy,
crazy,
like, crazy, psychotic, like,
mentally
and it's just more, you know.
Lots of people do it for lots of different reasons. I did it because I didn't like it. I still don't like it, but I feel like I need it. Well, when I did it then, it was to stop. In my head, so difficult to say. In my head, it was to stop people from hurting me if I hurt myself. Now though, when I do it, it's to hurt myself because I feel I have to.
for a long time, I got in with the wrong crowd and got involved with some really heavy drugs, and it got me in trouble quite a lot. But when I decided enough's enough, it was too late. I was addicted.
But like, if I can go off on like a bit of a tangent on like the culture of coming out, I have kind of mixed feelings about it. I think that maybe just it isn't totally necessary that people know sometimes. I don't know. I think the culture of coming out, like, it's good for society, but it might not necessarily be good for that actual person. You'd be like, yeah, I'm gay and proud, and then like, oh wait, hang on, I'm gay and homeless.
I think also the other thing that makes your confidence and trust kind of low is it's hard when you come out to go through what you go through with your friends being your friends when they think that you're, you know, normal, as some people would put it, to then suddenly feeling really uncomfortable around you and reacting out in really childish ways. I think that it needs to be made more aware in schools as well. There was never anyone there to talk to.
I don't know if you got picked on for being bisexual in your school, but I did. I got bogged and everything. Like, I had my head
What's
flushed
that?
out.
Oh God, really?
Get hung your head and
Flushed down the
flushed down the
toilet.
toilet. And like, I got beaten up outside the school grounds and the school did nothing about it.
And there was sometimes I didn't even want to go to school because I felt ashamed, and because no one accepted me. No one at all accepted me. Even what I used to class as my friends, when I told them that I wanted to go through a change of life of becoming a woman, they never spoke to me again. And
while I was waiting at the bus stop, there were these girls that came over, and they said hello, so I turned around trying to be nice and said hello again, and then these other boys came over and started yelling stuff like, "Don't you touch her, he's a perf," and started saying like I have sex with my mother, that I'm gay, that I'm a faggot, a freak, a gay, cunt, and it was all really hurtful, but I stood my ground and like, not violently because I'm not a violent person, I just tried my best to ignore them.
My sister's gay, what the fuck do I do? Like, she didn't understand, because before I became bi, when I was heterosexual, like, we did everything together, paint nails, clothes, you know, the whole sisters thing. And as soon as I came out bisexual, like, I saw a change in her, like, that I've never seen before in my life. She became more isolated, she became more, no, I don't want to play with you kind of thing. Basically, I was a broken toy that she didn't want to play with anymore. And that kind of hurt my feelings. And as soon as I came out as gay, I was literally ready for the jumble sale, basically, as I would put it. I couldn't talk to adults about it because I just felt like they were just going to hear about it and go out one ear.
Like, you know,
Go one ear and go out the other.
People can make this assumption that you don't know anything about yourself, like, sexually until you're at least 18, which just isn't true, because when the period when you're doing the most questioning and discovering about yourself is when you're like 12 to 14. And if you're not having like direct support at that age, it can really mess you up later on, which, you know, people completely underestimate, and it leads to all these crises when people are older. So I think like support from an early age is just incredibly important and overlooked.
I've said stuff to like my parents, my doctor, and stuff like that and whatnot, and literally like they said, "Oh, we'll keep it confidential." It doesn't get confidential at all.
They tend to, like, they only focused on the mental health aspect, and you're like, well, I guess this is helpful. It's not exactly what I asked for, but you know, what are you gonna do?
I went in for some advice about where to find sexual clinics for LGBT people, and locally in my local area they didn't really know anything. I went back and then they had pamphlets, but they didn't really have them on display. You had to basically ask if they had them.
There are people that would consider trans people like to have like a medical condition, and there are people that disagree with the idea of it being a medical condition. I think that you don't have to necessarily change your body, and that doesn't make you any less trans, which people can think, well, you're not properly trans, you just think you are.
So I think that GPs should like stop assuming.
Say for instance, like if a guy goes into a surgery and they don't know the person, they instantly think that they're straight. But in my experience, I've known that some of my friends have gone into a surgery that are homosexual, and they've been confused on how they were treated.
All GPs and stuff like should say, "Have you got a boyfriend or a girlfriend?" Instead of just assuming, or "Have you got a civil partner?" or "Are you in a relationship?" Yeah, exactly. Like instead of saying, "Oh, if are you in a sexual relationship with a man or something like that," I'm just like, oh, fuck's
I hate that assumption that people are too young to know that they're gay. Because people will never say the same thing, you're too young to know that you're straight.
I think firstly, if you start with the gun clinic, they're very good in the sense that before they start your appointment, they identify you as gay, lesbian or straight. I think that's fine, that they then can cater to your health in the right way and the required needs.
They're people that understand because they're there to help you. Even if it's your first time, they're there to give you support, and that's the best thing about gum clinics, because they don't judge you because they're trained and they actually are really helpful.
I went to the clinic in town. They were really, really friendly. You went in, they were really good. They asked you a few questions. You did a couple of tests. They sent them off, and they come back in a couple of weeks' time. It was yeah, everything was fine, all clear. Everything was good.
With me, my social worker's lesbian as well, so that kind of helps.
Right.
So.
I love your social worker. She's amazing. She's absolutely hilarious.
I am very out to my GP.
I don't have much experience with doctors or GPs.
No.
The experiences I have had have been pretty much focused solely on my gender.
Right.
So, in that case, it's very important,
Yeah.
because otherwise they can't do anything. But most of the time, I think it would be pretty important that they know.
The waiting area would be the place to start. I mean, just to show anyone that is LGBT when they walk in there that they know that there's LGBT people that go there, and they know that they can feel comfortable and safe in the environment instead of making them feel like they're outcast from everyone else.
Like posters about local places you can go to speak to someone, and pamphlets about where you can go for help. Just basically a list of places you can go locally, not just finding stuff online.
So you've got to get up and you've got to go out and make these appointments and make sure that you're okay and stuff like that, and stay healthy. And not just for you, for the people around you that care about you, because they worry. So if you know that you're safe yourself and you're all clear and stuff like that, as well as just general health, it's best for everybody, because you're happy, everyone else is happy, and there's nothing to worry about. So
I've experienced such a lovely place, and they helped me so much of getting through a bad situation where I got myself into, which made me become homeless on the streets, and they gave me the contacts I needed to keep myself alive, basically. And if it wasn't for those people, I wouldn't be sitting here speaking to you now.
These are big questions.
Yeah, and these are big
no.
questions. But like, you're totally dealing with them as well. And if I ask a question that is like ridiculous, then just tell me to
What is the reason we exist?
Yeah. What is the meaning of life? No,
No, I'm not. I can tell you now. Nobody knows the answer to that question.
Well, I think that's
The
a
meaning
perfect
of life
answer. I think that's a
is-
perfect answer. That is the meaning of life.
How perfect is that?
Thank you.
Yeah, the meaning of life is to meet someone that's made of rainbows.